What's up? Big Central Thursday, June 26th. Myself, Marty, Ev, Clemmer, off the NBA draft. We were just kind of discussing it right before the show. It seems like the room is torn. One night or 2 nights? I think it's the 2 nights is stupid.
I love the 2 nights. Clemmer, the look of disgust when I said the second one he just gave.
It seems like I don't know my mic's on or not, but it seems like a waste of time. It just you're right. If you're like a hardcore, like I love college basketball, I have a real tie to a lot of these guys. Great, but like I mean, how many second rounders?
What about the 5 to 7 rounds in football? That's on TV.
I feel like the 5 to 7 rounds, you're more likely to have an impact in those rounds than you are in the second round of the NBA.
So Nikola Jokic was a second round.
Yeah, you'll find you're right. You can find exceptions to the rule.
These kids though,
but most of the time it's not.
Like for these kids though, it's a huge thing. Like
of course,
it's fucking June. It's whatever.
But what does that have to do with 2 days though? It's a huge thing if you had it 2 days too though.
Because it's more of a spotlight on the second day.
Is it? I think less people will watch.
Sure, but I think less people watch this third round than the first round.
I'm be shocked how many people go. I know it's going to be still kind of packed, but
empty seats yesterday.
Kind of fun.
I mean,
I've never been.
A bunch of morons
actually
go
went,
with your boys, like get drunk and go yell at Bronny James.
Dude, the video when they had I forget what fan he was of the team, but he was literally doing the beer tweet on live.
Yeah.
So funny. They showed him twice. He literally just
I think it was Wizards or Atlanta Hawks.
Yeah,
it was one of the early picks. Yeah, he was just dumping beer.
Speaking of the Atlanta Hawks, I saw some tweets about being like, oh, Atlanta's had the worst draft, with Penix and then this guy. I'm like, you guys have no idea who this guy is. He's this guy from France, and it's not a sexy name because you didn't see him in college, and he played France is almost harder than college basketball.
The descriptions were not glaringly.
I know, but it's
he's an okay athlete. He's not great.
You don't fucking know though. That's the thing. I get it a little bit when it's I don't know the guy, and it's we have the number 1 pick. You went from Wembanyama last year to again. I already forget his name. It is. I guess maybe I'm agreeing with them now.
I think it's more. I think it is what you said, where they see because I went through it with the Porzingis draft where you see we averaged 11 and 5.
Yeah.
But playing in the Euro leagues Euro Cup, playing even 15, 20 minutes a game, those leagues. I mean, the top teams in those leagues would smash the top college basketball teams, beat the brakes off them.
Oh,
so they're playing way. Yeah, they would absolutely.
UConn?
They would smash them.
I don't know.
The top teams in that league would smash UConn.
I just
smash them.
I don't know about that. Smash?
Absolutely.
I don't think so.
UConn was really fucking good.
I did so much. When the Porzingis draft happened, I looked so much into this kind of stuff. Those teams would beat the shit out of those teams.
It's all just different basketball.
All the experts agree with that. They say
you don't really. You're underestimating. They're all 19-year-old kids playing grown men, and the way they play team ball, the way they pass the ball in the EuroLeague, they would get. UConn's.
I just don't know about.
They played.
I don't think they'd smash UConn. That's it.
I think you could say they.
But I think you're. I mean,
smash
Duke.
They'd smash UConn and any college basketball team.
A very good basketball team. A very good basketball team they'd smash. I think this year you have 2 top 10 picks for UConn. I think 4 NBA guys. That's the only.
I'm saying the team that register however the fuck you say his name's on those type of teams, they'd beat the shit out of them.
The only thing I got to hate is if you explain any number 1 pick as a 3-and-D guy, I'm out.
Yeah,
I think. I think that's a testament to more how poor the draft is. At the top. There was just no no doubter guys. There's none of them.
Yeah.
Obviously, some guys will probably turn out to be very good. You'd think there's going to be 1 or 2 guys that at least make all-star teams. Maybe not. Who knows?
Also, being compared to Harrison Barnes isn't a slouch. He's had a very good career.
For sure.
It's just
there's not elite guys.
Yeah, you just don't want to hear that as your number 1 pick. Listen, I think there's a lot of. I actually think there were some really good picks by some people and some really bad picks by some other people. I think that the Lakers was a great pick.
Yeah, Dalton Connect falling to 17.
For the Lakers is great. I swear to God this is not but McCain on the Sixers with just a straight shooter is good for the Sixers. I think he fits in with Maxey. I just think he does. I don't think it's going to take them to the top. I think it's just a good role player.
Yeah, I think he's be a good bench guy.
I don't say they won the.
He can shoot the 3 well. I know there's things I've seen is more just the worry about Max. He's kind of a small guard.
Yeah,
he's a small guard. So could they ever really play together? They'd be probably a liability on defense. But he can shoot. He can shoot the lights
out of the ball. And then I think I think Terrence Shannon Jr. going to the Timberwolves, the like 28th or whatever, was a really good pick.
Dude, them getting Terrence Shannon and Dillingham.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't
What
understand.
the fuck are the
I
Spurs
so far I look
I
so
think
dumb.
Gavoni put the T-Wolves as his winner.
Yeah, it's a great pick. But what the fuck are the Spurs doing?
I was so when I saw I thought they for like a second they had Castle and Dillingham. I tweeted it, and then instantly as I hit send,
yeah, I
like,
saw
got traded,
that.
I looked like a dummy.
Actually, that's how I knew he got traded from your tweet, because I was like, what the fuck just happened? Why would – because I thought that
he
was a
needed
great
shooters,
pick.
and Castle's not really a shooter, but I think he's a good pick. I think he's going to be a great player.
I thought that was more of an indictment on how bad the draft is. I thought it was more like we'd rather have a pick next year. It's for next.
They trade the picks for 2030 and 2031, which made,
rather picks down the road.
it made no
And he
it
is.
just- it made no sense
is.
to me.
I know we say 6 years, but like it still counts.
No, but dude.
But they're trying to build a team like
Bro,
I get the future,
Wembanyama is now. 6
could've-
years.
If you don't think anyone in this draft is any good, then it makes sense to kick the ball. Because this has been look, I know nothing about college basketball. I only read, and talk to you guys and stuff. But everyone seems to say this is one of the weakest drafts, if not the weakest draft in many years. So I think they're saying, hey, I'd rather roll the dice on a draft down the line than this one.
But it's not even like, if it was next year, then maybe 2 years. When you say we're going to trade a 2031 pick.
I don't like that attitude.
What do you mean that attitude? You don't fucking know, Clemmer. What do you mean the attitude? You don't know what these
Right.
teams are going to be like in 2000. You
know.
know what this guy is now.
I know,
And actually, he's good.
But here's the way I think more teams. I think some teams do look at it like this way. It's like, all right, it doesn't matter if it's 2031 or 2027 or whatever, because the draft pick has inherent value, and so the value in theory remains the same. And if you're doing 20, here's where it might be a little different. So let's say it's next year. Next year the Timberwolves are probably going to be pretty good and the Spurs are probably going to be pretty bad. But 2031, it is kind of a mystery. And if you have a chance to get a first-round pick so you're basically rolling the dice. It's a total gamble. But this draft sucks. You know what I mean? So you can kind of weigh that.
But you also have a
You truly don't
Wembanyama.
know if this
You
draft
don't
sucks.
know it sucks. And
Well,
that's what
I'm
it
sorry.
is,
I should
too.
say you're right. You have a good idea based on educated people saying this draft is bad.
Yeah, I get it, but also you have Wembanyama right now, right? This is it's his time.
Kind of. Not really. It's his second year. He has grown.
Okay, in
pains.
6 years,
he's
though,
like-
it's not going to.
No, I think actually in 6 years it's his time.
I think
in like
maybe
2
not the
years,
team. I
it's
think in
like
terms of the
his time.
player, he might be like a top 5-10 player next year.
Yeah, I don't think I think we're going to wait.
I would
why
disagree.
not
I would
start now?
heavily disagree with that. Top 5 player next
Yeah,
year.
honestly,
He's the
yeah.
best defensive player in the league. Right,
He
right
should
Do
have
you
won
think he's
Defensive
better
Player
than-
of the Year this year.
You think he's going to be Tatum with Jokic? Who else is top 5? Go through the list. The 5 are
guess.
pretty good.
I think by the end of next year, that's the way he's going to be talked about. That's what I think. I think he's
The
already
come
the
up is
best
faster than you
defender in
think.
the league right now.
All right, so let's take it from the team perspective. Let's say they have Cunningham, who you guys like a lot, it sounds like. And that's Dillingham, excuse me, who you guys like a lot. I didn't even know his name. I don't know anything about him. So I'm not coming from a point of argument. I was talking out. Is he going to make the difference? The Spurs were horrible last year. Is he going to make them a decent team next year?
I think.
No, but they could have got it right and got 2 guards, and now you're off to something. You know what I mean? They set up a backcourt.
He's
of
a
Castle.
big time shooter. He shot like
is like
44% from three. Like
This
big
is
time
like a
shooter
Barstool
scorer.
draft.
Yeah, this is
Oh,
wild.
this is the Crease Dive meet and greet.
This.
That was good.
What the fuck is going on here?
This looks like a pledge class.
It looks like it's just like they all look the exact same,
They're even dressed. They're all wearing golf shirts.
and our
Every single
security
one of them.
guard looks like their dad.
They look like they're trying to get me to convert to Mormonism.
Right.
They're all Billy.
That's it, right. They're knocking on someone's door, right?
Like, have you talked to God lately?
Right, yeah. They're extras in Book of Mormon.
Don't wave them in.
Bring one of them in.
Francesca's
No.
kids
No,
running
do
the
not
show
bring
now.
Princess's kids
I, just,
running the show.
I wouldn't mind wanting to know where they come from. Why are they here? Who are they?
Princess.
Don't wave them in. Don't wave.
I
Don't
want
wave
one.
them.
Just
Give me the
get one in
coke
here.
bucket.
I also
Where are they
don't know what
from?
they do. Like we gotta.
All right.
I need to know their story.
Someone go ask maybe out to see who they are first
Oh.
instead of.
Meek, ask him what's going on.
Yeah, Meek's a good detective.
You'll just be like, what's
Hey, go find out
what
find
his
out what's
odds?
going
Don't
on.
ask Ainsley what's going on.
No, ask one of them better yet. Or just stand there, Meek, and put your hand in there. No, go ask them.
Meek not going? What the
No,
fuck?
He doesn't go. He doesn't listen. He's a defiant fucking
Yeah,
asshole.
he puts his hand up like, huh? Who, me?
He's having a bad day.
Look at the enthusiasm in his face.
This kid Meek's gonna be like, "What are you guys?"
What's going on, fellas?
I want to see how he approaches it.
So why are you here?
He's just out of frame. He's just standing in that doorway.
Yeah, he's perfect. He knew the camera angles.
Yeah, he knew exactly. He's talking like, "Hey, what are you? What are you guys?"
Oh, no.
Okay.
See what we got.
Come back.
About to get our answer.
They're here toward the office.
All right.
Where are they from?
I didn't ask that.
God damn it! What the fuck?
Why were they getting a tour? Like, what's
I don't
happening?
know. There's some reason.
No shit, you don't know. That's why you ask. That's why we sent you out there.
Well, you have feet. You could do it yourself.
Oh, here we go.
No, we're doing a show. You're supposed to go out and do it. That's your job.
He's about to call
Wait, don't just ask.
him in.
Ask.
just wanna know
Stop
what their
asking
deal
them to
is.
come on. We don't know if we can even.
Oh, now they all think they're in.
What did they do with
Oh,
that?
they're exact. I just heard what it is. They're finance interns.
Oh,
There we
okay.
go.
All right, here we go.
What else?
right.
What else would
There
they
you go.
be?
Your people.
Tell me you look at those guys and they're like,
Yeah,
they're not
so-
finance interns.
That girl's not
Makes
fighting
sense.
with anybody yet. She's not from Staten Island.
Honestly though,
Gotta be a few nice people.
what's
You would have
the-
thought I asked the stupidest question of all time when I said, "Where are you from?"
Yeah,
why?
it's confusing.
In what world is a finance intern's doing the tour of Barstool Sports?
I guess they get the tour down here, then they just throw them in a room upstairs.
Meek, what are you doing
Well,
back there?
Are they our finance interns?
I think it sounds.
No.
What the fuck are you doing back
From
there?
Staten Island. I'm shocked Rico just let that go.
He's given up on Staten Island.
Gave up.
They're gone.
What are your duties back there? What are you doing back there? You couldn't go do that. You said you. I
Having a
have.
bad day.
Still
Having a
what?
bad day.
I'm on Meek's side. He's
Yeah.
having a tough day. Let him go.
All right.
Let Meek, all right. Let me cook. He went out there. He said, "What are you doing here?"
He did say I need to get some things off my mind. I can't wait to go at Clemmer. So they should.
I have feet. I mean, we're supposed to be doing a show. You're supposed to go out and do that. No.
Okay.
Attaboy, Meek.
That was my favorite opening.
Attaboy. Back to the draft.
Rob
though.
Dillingham.
Back to the draft.
Spurs.
I think I don't agree where it's like, if you're a Spurs fan, you're like, you see 2031. I get what you mean where it's like you're still getting something out of it, but it could be 10 times worse in this draft. It could be the best draft. You have no idea. It also is a pick from the Timberwolves that has a very young core right now that's going to be, you would think, good for quite some time.
Yeah. It was weird they didn't get anything.
Anthony Edwards is 22.
It was weird they didn't get
Well,
anything
well,
back
that's
like in the next couple of years.
That's the point I wanted to make about the Timberwolves. Obviously, you have no idea what they're going to be in 2030, 2031.
Right.
But their best player is like 22 years
Yeah,
old.
where it's like
He won't even be 30 by the time those draft picks happen.
Which
just
makes
made the Western
but
Conference
that kind of
Final.
proves the point of the argument in that like he's still so young that when they get those players in 2031, if the draft is better, it could still help.
I
them.
also
no, but I'm
think
saying
I don't
the
know.
Timberwolves.
Timberwolves. I'm sorry.
I'm
You're
saying
right.
like the pick could
Right.
stink. Like they could still be their best players are gonna be like in his prime.
It could be like the 28th pick. You're absolutely right.
when
That's
to
a,
me,
that's a risk.
it wasn't
Millions,
with
you
the.
traded the eighth overall pick.
Wasn't it also was it a draft swap in 20?
It was two. They got two picks from it essentially. It was 2030, and it was a one unprotected, one not 30 and 31.
If
You
you
see,
don't
that's
think
one of those that the Spurs are still tanking because 2025 is a good draft. Not tanking to a degree.
No,
but,
I
like,
see
Bosco,
that
you're not-
mindset.
You're
Yeah.
not wrong.
Maybe-
You're not wrong.
maybe
Though.
that's part of it.
The 2030, 2031 picks. I looked at it as they knew that somebody wanted Rob Dillingham, so like let's use this as leverage. So you get the 2030, 2031 picks. By next year, you could use those 2030, 2031 picks and be like, hey,
Yep.
like use those in a package if
But
you
we're
like somebody in the
saying-
draft next year. Those picks, everyone looks at future draft picks and like they're going to use those draft picks.
Yes.
No, but if they could also trade their own draft pick,
Correct.
and now they have the Timberwolves draft pick. So whatever
Right.
one is better,
gives
they
you
can
more
use as
assets.
I'm
leverage.
saying the
Yeah.
Timberwolves are like, they're gonna like they're gonna be good. Like they literally just made the Western Conference Finals when their best player's 20.
That's why I like the fact they waited to 2031 because you know if you do it for next year, that draft pick's gonna suck.
I just think I get it. Listen, it's their own. In my opinion, I thought that was a good pick for them to help with. They have no one that could shoot on the
That's
team.
it. Yeah, I felt that he's a great shooter. They needed
Great shooter.
shooters.
It was
I just thought it made sense, like fit wise. I was very surprised when they just dished him off like that. Obviously, it was the Timberwolves making the pick. So
Yeah.
Right?
I
Yeah.
have a bold
Right.
call about the Spurs pick really quick. Castle is Kawhi 2.0.
yesterday I was so surprised at the amount of people who didn't like the pick.
He was one of the most hated picks.
Basically, just because he's not like a knockdown shooter at this moment, but he does basically everything else really well. And he shot like I think it was like 27% from three, and he's a freshman, so like obviously not great. But I think he fits more like the Jimmy Butler, like Kawhi is like obviously like ceiling.
100%.
But I think he fits that mold of a guy who, if he can just shoot like a little bit better from three and do everything else he does well, he could be like,
What
he could
pick
have
was
like
that?
the high 4.
So
Well,
let me
he's a
tell you
winner.
something. When you
He's a winner. He's
That's
from
a
winning
winner.
culture,
Like
yeah.
great.
Couldn't have went to a better
great
fit
defender,
team.
can rebound, can pass.
when you
like,
draft a guy fourth, though, you think about it as a Spurs fan, right? Was it Spurs?
yeah, Spurs.
You think of it as a Spurs fan. You draft a guy fourth. As a college basketball, I liked him. He also fit the team well as well. That also helped. The team was perfect for them. He averaged 10 points a game, I think.
Yeah, like 10, 12, something like that.
And you just see that as a fan. You're like, well, we've drafted this fucking guy fourth when he's like, but Ev is right. I do think he does. Like, he's a great rebounder. He does all the not stat sheet jobs there are. And he's just also fucking 19 years old. Like, a lot of these guys, even the guys like the Knicks got, he's like 18, I think.
He might not even like.
He might
we
never
can get into that like a little later.
I didn't love the Knicks picks, but
I think I know. We'll get to it if we don't want to dive right in the Knicks right this second. I think there's a method to the madness, I believe, with that pick.
yeah, let's get into it in a little bit. But yeah, I just think that when you see these guys sometimes as a fan, you're like, what the fuck is this? And you don't know anything about UConn. You didn't watch him play all the time. We love him, you know, because
I just know he's a stud. Like he was.
Yeah, I liked the pick. I actually
was their
thought the
be-
pick
he
was
was their
good.
best
He
all-around
should have been the
player.
number 1 pick, in my opinion. Like, I think that teams are going to regret not taking him. That's how highly I think of him.
I also, we're not going to talk about how fucking close I was with Zach Edey.
You were.
You should have just did the top. Did you do at least the top 10?
No,
too?
of course I did.
Well, there was one other. So the winners, Gilvoni put winners as Dillingham with the T-Wolves, Lakers with Connect, who I think is, I mean, he was a force.
Steal the
He was
first round.
really, really good at Tennessee. Really, really good. And he put the winner, this one's confusing to me, this kid Topic from Oklahoma City.
Yes,
He's going to miss the whole year.
But you're drafting 19-year-olds for their 20-year-old season.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I saw you tweet that it's you. Wait,
Wait, what did I do?
I'm saying I saw you tweet like, what are they doing? Like he's gonna miss the whole year. Like guy, he's like 19.
You don't need him now.
Like their point is to have like. Also,
It's just weird that a guy goes that high.
He was a guy that once I started starting people like hype him up. I was doing some research and just he's a guy like played high level foreign league, big time scorer, big time. He's basically they really think he could basically be like Goran Dragic. Like type guy, maybe even like bigger, like physically a little bigger. So
Did you
they
guys-
seem to think there's a lot of upside to him.
They're also a pretty good team already. They don't need him. Like they don't like. Well, you know, I guess you create two arguments. Like obviously, we all kind of agree Oklahoma City's probably good, not great quite yet. So, but like having that ability where
Is he like way better than Devin Carter, who was a pick below him?
They seem to think he is. They seem to think his
Time will
upside is,
tell.
like,
Time will
very
tell. I
high,
just think
but-
it's weird.
that whole organization though is about kicking the can down the road.
Yeah.
Look at all the draft picks they have. They're always looking future first, which
Also,
I think is a pretty
There's
good
been
strategy.
quite a few of those guys that have worked out, even like recent memory. I mean, MPJ was that.
Yeah.
Was like the third option on a championship team in year like 3 of his career. I'm not saying he's going to be that, but I'm just saying like Embiid set out his first like 2 full years. We've seen guys like come in with that type of thing, like straight off an injury, because he tore his ACL in basically a workout in Italy, like for the combine. So we did it kind of recently. So he's not gonna play next year.
You guys remember back when teams would draft international players and basically kind of like stow them away for
That's
a
what-
couple
that's
years.
what-
Knowing
that's what the
knowing
Knicks
they
are
or
doing.
knowing they
Yeah.
weren't going to play. Like Frederick Weiss, they say that all the time. Like, oh, it's such a bad pick for the Knicks. They didn't have a spot for him on the roster, so it was like they just threw it away.
Well, then you should
Nobody
then
could
you
trade
probably
the
should.
pick.
Yeah, ideally.
Nobody could trade if you couldn't trade the pick. Just
Yeah,
all
then
right,
you kinda-
it is what it is.
Yeah.
Like
But like the Celtics got like this is not a great example, like Dino Raja, for instance, who was a pretty decent player for years, but they had to stow him away for like 4 years. Like sometimes it's not
Tony
bad
Kukoc.
to kick the can down the road.
Kukoc
Kukoc is a
got
good
stored
example.
away for a little
Let me
Let me
while.
tell you something. The Celtics pick, great pick.
Diamond's good.
Billy Sharman,
Diamond,
good player.
30th pick.
So he's like an
That's
NBA
your
ready
guy.
guy, right?
Yeah,
He's
he
very-
nailed it.
He's very like Sam Hauser-esque.
I know.
better. He's
He's better than Hauser.
Better like offensive skill set, like
yeah.
more like versatile.
Hauser's better
He
defensively.
seems
Yes.
so. I was watching the
He could shoot
highlights. He they say he's a guard, but he looks like he's a giant man.
Huge.
Am I wrong?
He's more like a wing probably, but
Bro, he's good.
That
Like
killer lineup they're gonna
for
put
a
out.
30th pick, great pick.
solid player.
He's a
Definitely
good,
wouldn't
good
be mad at
shooter.
it.
I wanted him or Flip. Filipowski.
I
Him falling
thought
in the second
I
round
thought
was pretty crazy.
Flip going in the second round is crazy.
It's bullshit what they do. You invite 24 people to a fucking green room. You better be 100% confident. that
Exactly.
each of
You make
one-
him look like a
every
Yeah,
one
you
of
shouldn't
those
invite
players-
that many guys.
Fucking
Made him look
bullshit.
like a piece of shit.
Crazy. There was a few guys who they didn't invite to the green room who still showed up to the draft, like just sat in the
Yep,
stands.
they do that all
and
the
got
time.
picked and like
Yeah, he
went
got
on
picked.
stage.
Christian
Oh,
Brown
wow.
did that
There was
too.
a few of them.
Good for them.
That's awesome.
That's confidence in
Brown did
yourself.
that.
Cade Martin did it too at
Yeah.
WNBA.
Shireman, yeah, like even Edie wasn't there, but Shireman wasn't there
Wasn't-
either.
yeah, he wasn't there.
Like I just
I think that was a choice. They're both by the same agency. Maybe that was the thing. I don't know.
sometimes if you're also a later round pick, you're like and you're not sure if you're gonna go first. You don't want the embarrassment like Flip. Like Flip, I think it's crazy he didn't get in this draft. I thought it was 20s no matter what.
I gotta say, it's like that. They're gonna talk about Kyle Filipowski, like agents or whatnot, or people in your ear, and be like, "Don't do what he did. He wanted to go back to Duke and like engrave a legacy." They'd be like, "Take your fucking stock when it's hot." He was a top 10 pick last year.
Yeah,
oh wow.
Yeah, probably.
but honestly, I weirdly think that his like game goes a little bit more towards NBA because like his defense is a problem, and you can get away with being okay defensively in the NBA. I don't know. He's like 7 foot who could shoot threes. Like I think he's good enough for the 20s, but he'll definitely get drafted today.
Yeah. Every
wonder if
all the
the-
boards had him high.
If he was there at
I was
38, I wonder if the Knicks would take him.
He should.
I saw
They
a mock
might.
to him.
They were gonna go to 25.
The only problem is I feel like the Knicks really need a big man. But also what I guess we'll get into it now a little bit. So what I was reading the thought process on they traded back and got another pick in the second round. They obviously traded the one pick for 5 second rounders.
Yep.
Which I think one was obviously all the draft capital they just gave up for Bridges. They just got
Correct.
obviously second rounders, but they got a significant amount of draft capital back, which will help them in the future.
Right.
And 2, drafting the French guy as a potentially basically either a stash guy or a guy that's like highly likely going to be in the G League this next year if he comes to America, potentially gives them the opportunity to save some money. And they're saying maybe they can make something happen with Hartenstein by doing it.
Yeah.
That's what I was reading. They're saying that might be like a plan where it might free up just enough money that can make that happen.
Can I
I
be
think the
honest
problem
with
is
Hartenstein's a weird thing though because they're gonna pay him now and they still have to pay Brunson probably in a couple of years. Then
They
they're gonna
could
pay
pay- but
Bridges
the-
in a couple of years.
The cap's gonna go up though.
Can
Yeah,
I tell you
the
something?
cap's going up a lot every year.
Hartenstein, if he resigns with the Knicks, he's a moron.
Why?
This is the highest he is going to. Go get your money. Obviously, he's not a moron. Like you win it.
Yeah, but if he can
try and
get
a championship.
close.
But bro, he's gonna get paid. Someone's gonna pay him a ton
Well,
of.
that's what I think. That's why I think it's not going to work out because the most we can pay him is for like 72.5, and I think
He's
there's.
looking for over. He's gonna
I
get over
think
100.
I think the
Really?
Thunder, I think the Thunder is going to be.
Some
Like,
rando team or
I think
whatever.
they're saying Thunder. I forget it was one other team that I think they go like 4 for 90, 4 for 100.
I think it's like people are saying around 100. And like, listen, OG, or basically they said that he took less money. Didn't go full max. He also got $200-something million.
212.
So
212.
I think you can 212 to 280s or whatever or 250. It's still a lot of money, but 212 I think you're fine. From 70 to 100's way more than that.
I don't trust me. I don't blame him. I still think it's a long shot, but I think.
I get what you're saying.
Them giving themselves even the opportunity to like maybe do it, I think is great, and I think that the Knicks have built enough of a culture where who knows, maybe he would be willing to take a little less money.
Yeah,
I mean, I hope
think it'd be
obviously from-
crazy to do it, but yeah.
And then obviously official, you guys re-signed OG yesterday. Like, I mean, there's just a huge pickup. I think,
Huge.
the Celtics, I think, are still better. We're running back same crew, but the Knicks right now, for the first time in Christ, God knows how many years.
Yeah,
the
and
Knicks
it's
are a
all-
significant
But it's
threat.
all via pieces. It's not like the times when they sold themselves on Marbury and Eddie Curry and or even Amari. Like Amari was a star. He was a star, but he was like the 4th best option in that
Yes.
free agency.
Right.
That was still a
but,
big.
But it also
deal,
was like LeBron.
Huge
too.
deal.
It was like the
Huge
best
deal.
players in the
Huge
league.
deal. But we got excited about the 4th guy. You know what I mean? They fucked up the Melo thing because Melo was a star, but the whole world knew Melo was coming to us, and the Nets were faking us out. And the Nets kept leaking to stories. Oh, the Nets are.
You love.
I'm telling you,
You
it's
love
such a fact.
You've
such
said
a fact.
This story. Anytime Melo comes up,
It's such
this
a
story
fact.
comes out of Bosco's
They
mouth.
They would have been way better off if they held on to those pieces around Melo. So that's a fact. They have not mortgaged the future anyway with this team. And
They
it's
have.
exciting.
They see the draft picks for Bridges. They
No,
have
but
more
but
of
again,
the future.
you keep saying that, but it's
Which is a
draft
big deal.
it's draft picks that are probably going to stink. So if you think they're more valuable, that's one thing. But they did not go all in on an aging superstar.
He did not.
You also could trade draft picks for players.
Yes,
Why
they
would-
didn't pay. They didn't pay.
No, I have
they
no
didn't sell
problem with trade.
themselves on.
They
They missed.
did mortgage the future. They did. They literally mortgaged the future. They
That's
did that.
not technically. You're taking it black and white. Where mortgage, they also.
But you got to
made
think
their
of the actual future of what their team is, and it's four guys
their
who
future
are really
brighter
good
than-
with OG.
So
Four
I know
Villanova
what you're
guys
saying.
Their
and OG.
present is awesome.
Yeah,
but
exactly.
They did
But
mortgage
that's
the
their-
future.
but
to
but
do
that's
that.
also
Their future.
too.
That's also your future. That's 3 years of that.
26.
Yeah, but it goes to 2031 though. Like those picks are for a long time.
Yeah, but you also have to look at. The guys
I think
that
the
are
trade
20
makes sense. I'm not arguing the trade.
How old
at
is
all.
Bridges? 25,
27, 28.
27?
He's going his age 28 season.
28.
Their whole
Still,
core,
like-
their whole core is under 29.
Oh, you're muted.
All the Nova guys
Go,
are
go,
29 and
go,
under.
Meek.
Come, you're talking about 2031 draft picks, correct?
Well, it goes into no,
Yes.
it's
The last one-
5,
the last one's
27,
31.
29,
Think-
31, and a pick swap.
7 years ago, think of where the NBA was in 2017, and then think about how different it is now. And just think about that when you talk about 2031 draft picks.
I don't know what you're.
How different the league was in 2017. Like
Like, you
Steph Curry
can't
was on-
predict, like, what the league will look like, what teams
I
will
can
be
predict
good.
one thing: draft picks will have value. I'm simply saying this: the trade makes a ton of sense. The Knicks are very good now, like they're awesome now, but they did mortgage the future to do that.
You have
But
to.
what about the people that
You
I
have
think
to.
you
I have no
to?
problem with it at all.
What about the people that got draft picks for 2024 and now they're like, fuck, like it could be the same thing. That's where it's such a
For
crapshoot.
2025, you mean?
2025. I'm
Right.
saying like where it's like we have like Bridges is what you want, and I know you're saying that you like to trade, but like I think that is still your future where it's like why you might as well mortgage those picks for this guy right now.
No argument here, but you are doing a disservice to your future. But I think it's a disservice that needed to be done.
So you think you should never give draft picks up?
Nope. I think this trade makes a ton of sense. But you did sacrifice something to do it.
They
You will
did.
get-
Yeah, you
will
have.
get
But you
draft
got a
picks back.
star back.
I agree. I'm not. No, the trade makes sense. But you said
I don't know what you're
didn't mortgage-
trying. What's the point
He-
you're trying to get across?
He said they didn't mortgage the future. I said they did.
This is what we're arguing about. All right, let's move
I think
past
we're
this
going
then.
semantics.
Plumber,
a
but
little
do
bit.
you not? I don't. I hate saying this, but like they can get like in 2 years if they are like this is not working out. We have to get some assets back for the future. They can get draft picks back. Just because there's no draft picks today does not mean there will be no draft picks in 2 years.
I agree with that. But if it doesn't work, then players got worse, and then those
If
the
every
assets
player-
you have are worth less than
if
than they are
every
now.
player fucks us over like Kyrie Irving fucked over the Celtics.
Right. But I think the Knicks have done this 100% the right way. This is not at all an indictment on the Knicks. The Knicks are very
I think
good
we're,
now.
we're arguing
Going semantics.
I have a
The
question
draft
for
is-
The
Knicks
one thing
fans,
I like
though.
is that they, even though they're not first rounders, they just got back like 5, 6 second
too.
rounders. So they at least have some capital to look forward to.
And they also can bring in new players, like even if it's a second
Or even
rounder.
for example, like Randall only has a year left. Like if that's not working out, that's a guy that's going to get first round.
That's a
like,
guy I
I'm
could
saying
see, yeah.
I think there's moves to be made.
Trade
if
him now.
If certain things don't work out, there's
Randall's
moves to be
going to
made.
ruin this team.
No, he's not.
that.
The
it's a
not gonna
crazy
ruin
take.
the
What's that
team,
take
but-
about?
Crazy.
it's
Pretty crazy.
it's
He's
the-
a pretty good player. man.
shows up for NBA playoffs take. Everyone hates Randall.
Oh, Ev's lashing
everyone-
out. He's
I
lashing
am lashing out because I hate
Lashing
that.
out.
It's not you. Like everyone just like hates
He
Randall.
knows when he's lashing.
And I just don't get it. Everyone hates Randall, and I
either.
don't understand it.
I honestly,
know. If you have
I'll be
five-
honest
if
though,
you
I don't
five-
think
yeah.
He was bad in the playoffs
I
like
think he
3
fits
years
in with
ago.
his team.
They were like 20 and 3
No, with
when
this
he
new team with OG and Bridges, I just think that
the
he commands the ball a
He
little
was
bit.
good with OG, wasn't he?
the
He
small
hasn't played
the
Bridges.
small sample size
Bridges,
when
no,
OG
they
and
didn't
Brett-
play a lot. OG.
3 of them when they played together, they were 14 and 2. Very small sample size. They're the
Yeah.
best record in
Well,
the league
small.
for that
That's
month.
small. 16
Very
games
small,
is
very
nothing.
small.
Pretty good though.
But and with OG with
I
just
know, schedule too. You don't know who they played.
OG
like-
played the
they
Nuggets,
played
the
the Nuggets,
Heat.
the Timberwolves. They played like one of the toughest schedules. They had the best record in
I
that
don't.
month.
You can't
Just
tell me anything
saying.
about 16 games. That's all I'm gonna say.
875 winning percentage.
I'm just saying they beat some. They played
You
their
say
best
you
basketball.
cannot switch. You can't switch to 16 games as a big sample size.
I'm just saying.
No, I didn't say that.
what
But I'm
we
saying
saw-
that it is. But
I think he commands the ball. All I'm saying is, yeah, he obviously can be. I like Julius Randle. I think he
also,
commands the ball a lot.
I think he's
that
gonna-
when Brunson needs the ball, like, and I do think that a lot of these guys don't need the ball, but he commands it sometimes, and I don't like how he plays offense.
But think about this: in the playoffs, like without especially really with OG went down, but even when he was still there, the one thing the Knicks needed badly was that second guy that could just go get you a bucket.
Yeah.
That was Randall. We were missing that.
But I think Bridges is going to be that guy.
Bridges isn't a ball dominant guy.
Will also
I know
be
he's
that
not ball
guy.
dominant, but he could also take. He could.
But he'll be
score.
like
Not the
he'll be
worst thing on
he
the
doesn't need
world
the
to
ball.
have 5 guys on the floor who can all go
Of
get
course
you.
not.
No shit.
That's
yeah.
the way the Knicks. That's the way the Knicks are built.
Now think about our second unit's going to be led by DiVincenzo, Hart. That's incredible.
Talking to my dad about it. My dad said the second unit for the Knicks is probably better than the Nets.
It's DiVincenzo is going to be the
Starting
lead scorer
five.
on the second
The
unit,
Nets
which
don't
is
have a
elite.
team really.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, they signed what's his name to 100.
Yeah.
million.
Claxton.
Claxton. He's
Claxton.
good. He's
He's
good.
a nice player.
Honestly, you want to know what? That's why Hartenstein's he's going to not go to.
Yeah, bro. Nick Claxton's getting 100.
He's
million.
better than Hartenstein.
This is the highest
Oh, excuse me,
Hartenstein's going to
excuse me.
get.
Hartenstein is better than Claxton.
Better than Claxton.
As he's a free agent, correct?
Yes, free
He's
agent.
not going to be
Those
this high
guys
of a
always
ceiling.
you know what I mean? Those guys that are okay to good always get way overpaid.
And Hartenstein, I really think it's worth it because he's such
I'll
a good,
always say it.
such a good offensive rebounder. He can play defense. He's one of the better passing big men in the league. Those guys don't grow on trees.
I wish Smitty was here because I wanted to
I don't
ask.
know why
Like,
he reminds me of Daniel Theis.
Yeah, he
Hartenstein,
does.
he's better though.
He is.
I also
He
will,
100% is.
with those contracts, like I was going to say, always look at Bismack Biyombo. It will always throw him.
Oh,
This
there
guy has
was
no
another kid.
offensive game.
He'll throw you for a loop.
Oh,
what are
God.
the
was
Sixers
his
gonna
name?
do? Like,
Amir Johnson. Amir
What do
Johnson.
you mean what are they going to do?
Ridiculous amount of money.
like Paul George. What if he stays in the West Coast?
No,
Jimmy Butler.
who's the guy that's a good question. Who's
Jimmy
the guy the
Butler.
Sixers go
They're
get?
gonna-
I think those two guys.
they're gonna get those two
try.
guys.
They should try at least.
Who do they think they're going to get?
I think
Paul George or
Butler.
Butler.
But what if those guys don't move? What's their plan?
Oh no, they're kind of
I think
fucked.
they
for sure.
have to. I literally don't think there's another planet.
Are they getting a DeRozan or a Levine? Is that going to be their grand thing?
Or honestly, do they mortgage the farm for Durant?
No.
I'm spitballing
Well,
now.
No, it's
I'm just throwing out
the
options.
Knicks kind of cucked the Sixers
They did with OG. Yeah, OG big time.
and Bridges.
Bridges, yeah, Bridges too for sure. Yeah.
We have,
They were. I don't think they were going to go for Bridges.
I
but
don't- the Knicks
OG
have all
was
this
definitely
all
one.
this cap. I mean, sorry, the Sixers have this cap money though, and who do you spend it on?
Who's the remaining? Because also Brandon Ingram signed last night too.
Oh, I didn't see it. Did he?
Yeah, he signed with the Pelicans. I could have been
What?
completely wrong.
I did not see this.
I
I was
I might have got
pretty-
duped, but let me let
think
someone
you
look
may
it up.
have.
I think you got duped because I think that definitely would have been notification.
I was pretty plugged in all night.
I have any big signing like that. I would.
Yeah, I was-
notification
All
on
right,
it.
might have got duped then. But
Yeah.
Let me just.
I saw one. I saw what you got duped by, but I also saw one that said Brandon Ingram likely played his last game as a Pelican.
All right, so I got duped by who? Centel.
There's a new one. Brandon Ingram wants to stay here and he believes in what we are building, and at the same time, there's a financial reality that we all deal with. We're excited about Brandon. I know he's excited
Which
about
one
us.
That's a lie. That's trade talk.
He didn't sign. Okay, so
Was that the one you? I
I
saw
don't
one that
remember.
looked.
I just saw.
looks
You
real,
know,
but-
sometimes when you fucking. Also, I didn't think that would be something to dupe someone because it's Brandon Ingram.
No,
you
this
know?
is fucked up, Marty. You fell for a reasonable.
Ingram alerts.
Ingram alerts.
Yeah, that was the one I showed you. The graphic looks real as
The
fuck.
graphic is fucked up.
Yeah, that's crazy.
The graphic looks very
On draft night. On draft night.
You got it.
That's crazy.
Gotta go.
like a five,
Gotta go to the source.
4-year.
Well, I don't think he's their answer either.
No, he might have to be.
I wouldn't hate it for them. It seems like everyone's trying to copy the Celtics of wings.
Yeah.
Well, in the East, I think
Yeah.
I think the Knicks are definitely trying to build a team with the sole purpose of beating the Celtics.
Which I
I think
agree
that's
with.
You have
absolutely
to
what they
do.
should
You
do.
have to do that.
If you are the exactly what I've said, the Timberwolves built to beat the Nuggets, you got to go after the guys in your conference before you worry about anybody else.
100%.
I mean, in the Celtics, I think even more because they're just so young.
Oh,
You know, that they ain't going nowhere. That's gonna be the team. You got to be able to defend them, and I think with OG and Bridges, they have the best team maybe in basketball. I don't think you could find two better guys to throw at Tatum and Brown in terms of just trying to defend them. Those are two elite wing defenders, maybe two of the best in the NBA. They at least will have a shot.
I
Those
agree,
guys
but
can stay
I
healthy.
do always go back. Knicks
I
fans
think
are
so.
Knicks fans, not you guys, but Knicks fans sometimes come up with this notion that wow, the Knicks play hard. They're really good at defense. The Celtics are the best team in basketball at defense.
But me saying I'm
Not-
saying
I'm-
defending
again-
options. I'm not listen. The Celtics are amazing. We're just doing the best we can to throw something at them.
A pretty good job.
I
Oh,
think
great
we
job.
are. I think we did.
If I
Well-
could write up a game plan for the Knicks, it would be exactly what they do.
Yeah.
Because I mean, just having two guys, having to defend Tatum and Brown, and them still having Porzingis, White, all these guys is incredibly difficult. I think they did the best they could in throwing.
You guys didn't get old guys.
can't-
I know.
That's what I'm saying. They're all under 30.
Right.
Jason Chris for years it was let's go after Chris Paul. It's why?
And I think the Sixers now are going to be stuck with either a Paul George, a Durant. Ingram's not old. He's obviously going to be, but I don't know. Embiid, Maxey, and one of those guys doesn't really scare me enough. Like, they're obviously a good team. I'm not saying that, but
They do.
No,
Not now. Not this year.
Saying Embiid, Maxey, and Durant. That would be
If they could get
Is
one
it?
more, I think.
Yeah.
Hold on, I think if they
maybe
could
the
get,
Sixers have enough depth because Embiid's not going to stay in the court. Durant's 1,000 years old.
if this is obviously a massive, if they can get that third guy, and if they could somehow get Embiid to the playoffs healthy, they definitely would be.
That's scary. I think you have to say it's scary.
Embiid's so dominant, like, and Maxey's becoming so
I'm more
good.
scared of the Knicks than that.
I think that's fair. I think that's totally fair.
I think it's close.
Embiid healthy
The Knicks
is a
now
dominant.
have the depth that's scary. Because in the playoffs, it's a kind of a game of attrition a little bit. And I don't know. I the Sixers right now are. I'm not saying they're not good, but I'm just saying the Knicks are a lot scarier to me than the Sixers.
Well, I mean, think about it, though. Honestly, like obviously the Knicks got better, correct? But in the first series, like Embiid was hurt. They played the Knicks pretty hard. Like
I think if the Sixers
are better,
if the Sixers beat us, they would have got to the conference finals.
No, I think they were too beat up. Who were they? Oh, you're saying they beat the
Embiid was cooked.
Even regardless, the Pacers also like then the Sixers are like Maxey is becoming like an actual superstar, and I think if they add that one other piece, I think they are 100% scary. Because who else is?
Well, just imagine their
is
team.
Tobias gone?
Yeah,
'Cause that's good for them.
Yeah.
That's
good
what
for them.
That's the cap
Well, that-
space they
yeah.
have now that they could go get.
Good for them to get out of that.
They're replacing.
What the fuck is he gonna get? He'll go to
I
like.
bet
the
he still
Cavs.
gets like a.
He'll probably go to the Cavs like a
he still gets like
200
$100 million.
Yeah.
Plus, like,
No, he'll get like 200.
But I was gonna say, even if it's Ingram or Paul George, that's a massive upgrade from Tobias Harris.
100%.
They already were like good, not great, but they definitely get them closer.
And you got to figure Embiid will play more than 39 games next year, but how many more?
I don't
again,
think they're hoping so.
It don't even matter. Like hopefully he just does just play 39, but all healthy instead of
It's
getting
more just can he
hurt.
play? Can he be healthy for the
On April
playoffs?
15th or whatever,
for the-
yeah.
for the playoffs? Can he be healthy?
And again, it's
And they're
just-
they're dangerous.
It's just those. It's like really, kind of just those three, unless it's like, and it depends on the Bucks how healthy they are.
I can't even blame the Celtics fans. I mean, they have just bitch slapped the Sixers forever. I can't even be mad at either of them for like not even like entertaining the thought of them being dangerous.
Oh,
Like the
I get it.
I can't even fault them.
I get it. I'm not
that's like
even
how-
saying dangerous for the Celtics. I'm just saying there are. If they added a Durant or a Paul George, I do think they're
Good
dangerous.
sports show
But I
talk.
still think Celtics are better.
Yeah, for sure.
And everyone complained about Sixers. I saw what's his name. I forget his name in I actually like him. Connor Griffin. Does he?
Yes, yeah.
Talking about my guy in TikTok dance. You just got a fucking great shooter. Shut the fuck up. I'm so sick of these people. The guy dances and people make fun of him. People make fun of him. Let the guy. He's a TikTok dancer and paints his nails.
Jordan never
It was
did TikTok.
it was funny.
Jordan would be doing TikToks like
Jordan never
he'd
did
be on
TikTok.
gambling TikTok all day.
Follow Jordan didn't even have
Watching
social
me.
media.
He would follow.
He had no distractions. Jordan had no social media. He had no
Did people
distractions.
forget that?
He would follow. He would follow novel.
That
novel
was the
Tyler.
bit.
That was
That was a bit.
But it was.
I tried to look
You
at
know
it.
what though? But everything he said was true.
Marty, do you think that Jordan would follow novel Tyler?
Yeah. 1,000%.
Probably.
1,000%.
It was hilarious when McCain gets drafted. Everyone gets like a highlight package, and McCain gets drafted. It's him in a fucking like.
They don't help him.
Yo, when he
looks
did
like a
this-
60-year-old black lady like
when he
doing
did
with the
this-
fucking thing on,
when he did
doing
this
like
one,
dances.
it
Yeah, they don't help him.
His fingernails
So funny.
literally painted.
But honestly,
his
though-
nails are painted, and you're like fucking the thing where you're like this, like mean mugging the camera, like
Yeah, but guess what?
he's got white nail
When he
polish.
drops
like, this- I can't-
32 on a
I can't
team,
fucking get
If he
behind
drops
this guy.
32 on a team, you'll paint your nails with him.
He's the Caleb Williams of the NBA.
There are NBA fans that don't realize like how popular like he actually is. And last night was like the first time I ever heard of him. Like he
Who
had a million
caught them-
TikTok followers.
Who caught them in the tournament? Who beat them in the tournament?
NC State.
NC State.
And all he does on the TikTok is dance.
No, he does other things. He's also like a phenomenal singer.
Best of all time.
Like, no joke.
Marty showed me actually one time. I was blown
Really,
away.
he's a phenomenal
It's
singer.
kind of wild. He's actually gonna,
He's really talented. So what? You know what? He's comfortable in his own skin. He's not hurting anybody.
That's the whole thing.
does what he
He's
wants.
not hurting. He's not
a
doing
really
anything
good-
wrong.
he's a
Like
great
he's not a
teammate.
bad person. So why do we?
I asked the guys on the team actually without, as I said, that off camera, how is he?
Yeah.
They were like, he's fucking awesome.
Oh, then
And I was like, that's great.
all that matters.
Yeah. And if he's knocking down threes, you're going to tick the problem is when the Sixers inevitably lose to the Celtics in probably the playoffs, they're gonna start doing TikTok.
You're gonna be like, you were never beating us with the guy.
Yeah, that's the problem. So I get where Connor was saying that, and I'm also just kidding. I don't really care. Connor says everyone said the same thing. It was just I'm sick. That's my guy. I'm defending my guy.
Devin Carter got drafted last night, right? To the
Kings.
Sacramento Kings.
Kings,
I think it was a great pick, great fit. Did you guys happen to catch the the Providence burner shit? Like the
No,
Sacramento.
you're on top of that.
CBs.
Nah, this was the
No, but
Sacramento.
that's you. That's a you thing.
It's a big cat knows it. It's a
No,
pretty,
no,
it's
I'm
pretty,
not-
It's a pretty known thing
Don't-
now, Marty.
Yeah, but they're yeah.
not like to the mass. I'm saying explain it to the masses.
Like, there's a Providence burner community, and anytime that you like tweet about like one of their players, they just all will say like thank you or like Fryer. So last night, like right after, Sacramento got like engulfed with a small school from Rhode Island's like burner community, and they're like, what the fuck is going on? It was just like so funny to see in real time, and like got to the point where the Sacramento Kings tweeted.
Fryer.
Fryer.
Let's go.
That's
King's official. I love the like.
That's awesome.
I love the like on it.
Yeah, his,
Simon Charles.
I'm gonna mindset
yeah,
everywhere.
It's all these idiots.
the best.
Wait, go up. Was that Lumpy Dumper?
Where's the lumpy?
Yeah,
Yeah,
Lumpy
Lumpy
Dumper.
Dumper.
Thank
Dumper.
you. We know all these
The
guys.
trenches.
Dangly sack.
Dangly
best-
Sack. This is all the guys. Go up. There was Chris. Was it Chris Dunn's Big Hog?
Yeah,
Yeah, Chris Dunn's Meat Wagon. I know all these guys. That was one of the craziest videos I ever did. Was those
Let's
idiots?
go.
All right.
I gotta find.
The best one of the night was I don't like him, but John Morant did the Chris Tucker from Rush Hour when he like opens the thing and it's this huge Asian guy, like he's like 9 foot tall, and it's like he's pretending it's John Morant looking up at Zach Edey, like being like.
I thought the coverage last night was pretty bad, though.
Brutal.
Awful.
So which did you watch? The
What do you mean,
ESPN or
what
ABC?
coverage? Yeah.
It's like I watched ESPN. It wasn't.
ESPN
There was a second
horrible.
one. I
I was
watched
watching
ESPN.
ABC.
I watched ESPN. I didn't know that.
like
ABC
Stephen
had
A.
Stephen A. Smith.
I didn't
Yeah.
know.
I didn't realize that either. I didn't
Yeah.
That's what I was like. I thought it was pretty good.
So
I gotta be
I only
honest, I
realized
was-
halfway through, so
You were
I
watching
I did both.
Jefferson?
ESPN was so much worse
Oh
than
my
ABC.
god!
I gotta
didn't
be
know
honest,
there
it
was
was
a
like,
second. Who was on ABC?
Yeah.
I was kind of just like
Stephen A.
listening to music and random
else?
fucking around.
The guy that does the what's his name? He's
I forget his.
Bobby-
terrible. He's
Bobby Marks, bald guy.
Bobby Marks was the kind of the expert.
God damn it! I didn't know
But
there
they
was
had
a
the
second-
white guy with the black hair, and he's really boring.
He's on the
He
finals.
does he did like the halftime
halftime
show. For,
it wasn't with for the finals.
he's dreadful.
His sideburns are very thick.
He's very boring.
Yeah, I know exactly what you're
I
saying.
didn't know there
always
was
forget
a
his
second.
name.
Forget his
I didn't
name
know
too.
there was a second.
Yeah,
coverage.
I like Stephen
I
A.
thought there
so.
was. I figured, like, I'm watching it and I go, I'm not.
I turned on the ESPN one. I like Jay Billis, but the ESPN one was Jefferson. I'm not a.
Yeah, it was
Jefferson.
a bad
They
coverage.
were,
I
they
don't
were
mind Richard
misidentifying players. They had the wrong. Not I that I know any, but like
Yeah, they
should
did
know what they're
Dalton
doing.
Connect twice. I remember that in the beginning. They had to go through him twice. They had the wrong guy.
Yeah, ESPN had horrible coverage.
Marty, even the Jay Billis, Jared McCain thing I found so weird. He
Yeah,
was
it
like,
was
I would
weird.
find the TikToks a problem for anybody else besides Jared McCain.
Yeah, I
was like,
find that
"Alright,
really
dude,
weird.
Like,
It's
hide
also
the bias a little bit.
Yeah, hide it a little bit, Jay. Come on. But like, yeah, like also think when you talk about the TikTok stuff, like I think you can be on both sides. You can understand it of why it's a problem, kind of.
Yeah.
But also, it's not like you know how much money he's going to make off of having millions and millions of followers on TikTok. He's huge on TikTok. And then he's also a fucking unbelievable shooter in the NBA. He's going to be incredible. Also, did you see, this is not, I'm not even going to say what it was, but people were doing, what's the nicknames going to be for Dalton Connect and Austin Reeves? I'm not going to say, I can't even say it. I can't even say it, but it's really funny nicknames on there.
Was it the one that I saw?
Yeah, was it SS?
Oh, jeez. Hopefully not that.
What's
no,
that?
mine was AS.
SS is a Nazi thing.
Oh, well, not. I obviously was doing the initials to make everyone sure. I'll
I saw active shooter.
yeah. It was that. It was that.
Wait, how was that? How was that SS?
School shooter.
Oh, okay. I saw
Yeah.
active. Yeah.
But it was
alright.
just there was. Listen. I think JJ Redick did a good thing there.
They love white guys drafting them.
Yep.
They said he was already drawing up plays for him yesterday,
Yeah.
That's
like
wild.
did
like
see
out of the
that.
side and shit.
Who was
So I'm a JJ Redick guy. I want him to either be the best coach or it be an absolute disaster. I don't want to he was all right. I want it to be either one.
I selfishly, I kind of want him to be bad because I like him on TV.
Oh, yeah, but
I want him back on TV.
No more podcasting for him.
Did Bronny make a mistake?
No, absolutely not.
He'll get picked tonight.
Maybe.
Stupidly.
No,
Yeah.
I don't.
I
think
actually
that-
believe in his general. I actually believe in his physical talent.
If you think he's a good player, then he made a mistake.
Can I ask you a question?
You should have went to college for another year, right?
I believe in his shooting ability. I think he has legit athletic. He is real bounce, real athleticism that you can't teach, coach. I actually saw Gilbert Arenas kind of talking about this a little bit about him, and I thought a lot of it resonated because I had kind of thought similar things just watching flashes and highlights and stuff. He's a guard that can legitimately shoot. He just didn't get to play a lot. He was coming off. He had the heart thing. He
fucking
collapsed.
heart attack.
I think that's part of why I
Then
think.
why not go back to school for another year?
That's
I don't
why I
think
think he should have went
Him
back.
going back. I don't think him going back to school does any good for him.
The only thing
I think
that
he can develop. I also think he can develop in the NBA. Also on the same level as in college, where college is going to do nothing more for him. He can get into the NBA. Listen, his dad is LeBron James. We all know that. That is why he's getting drafted tonight, right?
Right.
And I don't think in full, because he's also been pretty good about it. He said, please don't draft me if you don't think. I think he's saying all the right things.
He's doing nothing wrong.
He's doing nothing wrong. But why not just, if you're going to get drafted, this is the worst draft everyone's saying. Next year's is really fucking good. So is he going to get to the next level all the way up and go to the second round next year? It's going to be the same thing. So why not just go this year, go into the NBA?
You're saying there's no chance he'd be a first rounder next year?
I'm not saying there's no chance.
Or very little chance.
I just think it's there's so many good players next year that they're supposed to be. I just think that he can develop in the NBA this year instead of wasting another year of on a
G League,
mediocre.
too.
That was a point that
Yeah,
that was one of the other points Gilbert Arenas made, was he thought that some guys just develop a lot. It'll just be more of an opportunity to truly develop his game potentially just in the NBA. Just go now. You want to go. Don't waste another year where it's being college for him is tough. He's Bronny James. It's not
Money's not a thing.
probably not the easiest thing in the world.
He doesn't care about making $10 million, and it doesn't matter. I think this just go. Get all you're gonna hear all the nonsense anyway of in college again. The Bronny James, just everyone's gonna say you get to the NBA no matter what because you're dad.
Him going to USC made sense because it's his family's from South California. All that shit made sense. Did not make sense as a basketball standpoint. He didn't even play his natural position.
No, it didn't.
And that's why that was another Gilbert Arenas, his bigger point was the development part, but it was also just when you go to college, the number one focus of that coach is not necessarily to develop you. It's to win games, play his system, do it his way. If you don't fit, which that's partly on Bronny, maybe he should have went somewhere where his fit would have been better. But you also get promised a bag of goods in college and don't always deliver on that.
Isaiah Collier was supposed to be the number one pick this year. He went 28th or 26th or something, way late, in 29, and that was and the other guy, who was the other guy on the team? I could have sworn there was two guys on USC that was supposed
DJ Rodman.
I thought I know Collier was supposed to be a top 5 pick.
Didn't they have someone come back?
Yeah, I forget who it is, but regardless, he was going to
Boogie Ellis.
it was supposedly going to a good team, and then the team sucked, and he got hurt, and he was coming off the bench, and people are just going to look at, he scored 6 points a game. He did. If you watched him, the team was dreadful at times.
So the Lakers will likely take him in the second round, you got to think, right? But what if someone takes him first?
Boston should take him first.
Someone should take him
They're
first.
saying the Suns I've heard a lot about.
Celtics draft right before the Lakers too,
We
right?
don't draft for jokes and bits. We don't do bits.
I know, but you should just take him.
Not a bit though.
Not a
We don't
bit.
do bit. We don't do bits.
How is this a bit? What are you talking about?
Like drafting Bronny James just for the bit. I would rather get
It's not a
something
bit. It's a way to fuck
No, I
over
think
the
it's a way
Lakers.
to-
I want to get a Kashad Johnson, somebody that actually has fucking promise in the league that can be a
Bronny
guy that
James
coming
has
off the bench.
I
What?
think it's kind of crazy that everyone's kind of shutting him down. Where the Knicks just took a 18-year-old that they're saying they're going to stash away for a while.
Probably.
When Bronny James is 19 years old, who is literally I don't think that he's this
Yeah, but the
bad.
fact
that
of the matter
everyone's
is
saying
he's
that
not going
bad.
to, as a second rounder, it's going to be very hard for him to crack into a rotation.
Why is that though?
Just
I think it's hard for. Well, I think it's hard.
No
for
matter
any
who
team.
it is,
for anybody.
but it depends on what team it is.
Yeah.
You're only taking him if you think that he can. Deuce McBride, he's cracked his way in. He's worked his way in. Do you think Deuce McBride was going to be good? Not really.
Right.
Come on.
That took
He was
a
a
couple
guy that
years
when
for
we took
Deuce
him, we're like,
McBride, though.
obviously-
I'm saying it took him a couple
College,
years.
yeah.
Though, but
Potential.
how old is he now?
probably 23, 24.
Rico has a
He went
point, though.
later.
The second-rounder guys have less, usually opportunity.
Oh, they 100%.
They have less opportunity right away, for
Where like
sure,
Deuce
yeah.
McBride was in the right position, just kept going. Him and Quentin Grimes are going back and forth, and he stayed with it. And Deuce McBride all of a sudden now is a name.
This also is a fact that at some point, I don't know the exact draft pick, but the money changes and people will start talking their clients out. I think it might be after like the 45th pick. You don't want to get drafted anymore.
No.
Because you want, because then you
You
get
want
to
to be able to choose your destination.
it's
you want
like
to be
football,
like the
same
same like
thing.
money. You want and
Yeah, same with football, right?
yeah,
right.
like I know, yeah.
football. You don't want to get drafted after the 5th round because you 6th round. You don't want to because you could pick the team that you think that is the weakest and you could
You have the best chance to make the roster.
100%. But
Is there any team out there that's going to draft Bronny that is doing it potentially to get LeBron James on that team?
yeah, the Mavericks. Why wouldn't the Mavericks do it?
Suns. I don't know how they could pay him, but I know I've heard a lot of chatter about the Suns.
Suns trade Durant for LeBron.
Well, LeBron wouldn't
Make some
would
kind of
say
move
no.
like that.
LeBron would say no.
Get Bronny on the vet, Braun on the vet minimum.
That's what I was thinking, right? Because
At one point, it's just like fuck it.
right.
No
The,
joke.
the NBA PA legitimately might not allow that. I don't think they would. I remember we talked about Meek.
We talked about it.
They
yeah.
are like they hate that shit.
Yeah.
Like they hate people
Oh,
taking.
MLBP is the same way. They
They
hate that shit. too.
fucking hate it.
So A-Rod didn't go to Boston.
Right. Right.
They like a guy taking
Exactly
like
right.
taking. I don't think they would like be like LeBron. You can't do this. Like you can't play for $6 million.
Right.
Because it
Like
fucks
you're a
everybody
You're a
else.
$60 million
Yeah.
player. You can't.
It does fuck everybody else because it brings down the average annual salary and everything else, right?
Are we
Plus, it
gonna,
also sets a bad precedent.
are we gonna talk about baseball on the show at all? I want to give Clemmer his crown for winning the World Series yesterday.
You're a Mets fan.
Yeah, I didn't.
That's our World Series.
That's not our World Series. We're
I thought you would play into the bit, but whatever.
We're playing
Doesn't
really.
do bits.
Yeah, you're
Yeah, my
talking to
bad,
the wrong
bro.
guy. We're playing really well right now. Yankees
Really
are
well.
struggling, and it is what it is. But I mean, we needed to win more than the Yankees did.
I thought you'd
Yankees do
be.
stink. We
I'd-
stink
the
right
series
I thought you'd
coming
be
out
itching to talk about the
Fine.
hottest team in baseball.
no,
I'm
I'm
very
we'll be-
excited, but like I'm not gonna. Because if I say any shit to these guys, they just look at the standings and be like, "See
Yeah,
where
there's
we
not
are."
much the Mets could.
So have I
Mets
talked
are
any
now-
trash to you at all? I'm
Mets
not
are
gonna
a
say
game
shit
and a
to
half
you guys
out.
right now.
I even try the Yankees.
Wow.
We're fine.
That's a
I mean,
fourth.
I mean,
in the
we're
wild
not in a
card.
position to do that, Phil. Right now, like we're doing the best we can. We have
Grimace
some
is-
moves we need to make. I'm excited as fuck.
Fourth in the wild card. Game and a half out.
Yep.
The schedule coming up.
I thought you'd be itching to talk about Grimace having the night of his life.
that was
This was
a
no
let-
joke.
oh,
This
that
was
was
no
great.
joke. The funniest thing I've ever
I was
seen.
dying
Oh.
laughing. at that.
going
Put his
going
arms
into
up.
the All Star. Yeah, that was. hilarious.
Listen. I
Hold on. Going
the
into
Mets,
the All Star.
I like having something like that.
Going into the All Star break. Houston, Washington, Pittsburgh, Washington, Colorado.
And then keep going. What's
gotta
after
go
the
on
All-Star
it.
break?
What?
It's
Oh,
equal.
just they got to go on a
No,
tear.
but it's so easy. The schedule was a joke until the 23rd of
You're saying
July.
about Houston.
Houston's the next
They're
series.
awful.
Who they play?
No, they're
Oh,
no, they're good
playing.
right
I
now.
thought you were doing like the.
playing better.
Yeah.
Oh, that's who they
They're
play.
playing. They're 500 too.
Then they come back with
Houston is
Miami,
playing
Yep.
better.
New York,
Then it gets tough.
the Braves,
Then it gets really hard.
Minnesota.
But the first series out of the All-Star break is Miami. Like from July 1st to July 22nd, the Mets schedule is so easy.
Play the Phillies 8 games in September. That's gonna be fun.
I
Yeah,
get
but they
it.
could have the division locked up by then.
That's true.
Yeah, but they want to keep us out.
We talked about it too much already. That circle is way too big.
Big circle.
They've all just been.
What are they?
I don't
yeah,
even
they've
know.
been
It's
there a
like,
while, right?
why are they so far away? It's like a COVID social distancing thing.
I swear to God, I thought Billy Football walked in 4 times. I was like, I kept saying he keeps seeing him.
These Mormon brothers.
Let's go pick.
You might really be a cult. Look at the way there's
I'm like
very
nervous to
cultish.
walk out there.
Me too.
I mean, finance bros are basically. a cult.
back way. Marty picks.
If honestly, like I'm exhausted this morning because I just keep watching the Cubs lose at 1 a.m. But I'm gonna take the Cubs. Shota's pitching today. They gotta do it. They're horrible right now. Yankees -1.5. The Blue Jays are fucking dog shit. They're gonna do a fire sale soon. I'm gonna go with.
Can the Mets get Biggio?
Biggio's on the
Not
Dodgers.
Biggio. Not
Oh,
Biggio. Bichette.
Sure, why not?
second
But
person.
you, I know.
No, they won't
I
go to
know
the
what you're
Mets.
saying. But do you want to give up the prospects?
I don't know.
I don't know.
He's not having that good of a year either.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you'd still.
But he's led the league. I mean, he's led the league.
Oh,
It's
it's
like
very good.
he's a very good player.
Somebody tagged us in something. Can I bring it up before we finish picks?
Sure.
They said the Knicks did not mortgage the future, Clemmer.
Okay.
You're showing a tweet, not to reply.
I know. I'm showing the tweet.
The Knicks front office has officially cemented the Knicks as a contender for the foreseeable future. Elite rotation all under 30 years.
Yep.
7 first-round picks in the next 7 drafts.
Very good.
Pretty good. And we just got all our second round. A lot of those
Yeah.
second round
Got
picks.
second round picks, yeah.
Feel good.
They also traded away
I just
a
had
bunch of draft.
I'm betting
It's
the White Sox.
Like I said, it is more of a semantics because we all agree that the philosophy of the Knicks was sharp.
Yes.
Yeah, it's.
I think that would make a fair point that they did not mortgage.
You just didn't like the way.
We're-
you didn't like the
we're
word
stuck on this word mortgage.
That's all. Yeah.
Why
that's
didn't
all.
Vincent Gamble's tag the whole show?
We did not mortgage the future. We
actually
had
have
too
no
many
idea.
picks. In a vacuum, is Bridges worth what we paid? Oh, then I lost it. Okay.
Sorry.
What else?
Probably not, but we can afford it. Yeah, I agree with what Vincent said, more or less.
White Sox.
Other than the mortgage
I'm
fees.
betting the White Sox at plus 260 today. Sales just cool stinks, but sales just might gotta blow up. 260 is just
White
you're
Sox
taking
can't hit. They got shut out again last
You're
night.
taking a shot no matter what. I'm going to Rangers plus 170 against Baltimore, and then that's it.
Ev.
I'm going over 8.5 in Yankees.
Me
Blue
too.
Jays.
Let's go, Ev.
Yeah, Yankees do well against Barrios. I mean, the Yankees also just
Rodon's been getting shelled. Barrios
he's-
been getting shelled.
8.5. Over 8.5 there. We're going over 9 in Guardians Royals.
I'm actually going under in that game. Guardians Royals. That's my only play. I got the under. We have the hit parade as well. Clemmer, round this out.
My pick of the day is Tigers first 5. The Angels starting guy has never started a game in the major leagues before. Davis Daniels, I think his name is. And Flaherty's been really good of late. I'm also in the Phillies run line, and I'm with Ev. Let's go Yankees Blue Jays over 8.5.
Phil.
Joe Adele home run plus 600.
Oh, like any reason like why?
No, I actually had that in thought in my head this
All right.
morning. I just really like Joe Adele.
Yeah, all right.
All right, that is Pick Central. Yeah, coming up next.